How you doing? I'm Scott, and we are going to talk about some finances today. I get the opportunity every day to meet quite a few people, probably in the 20 to 30 different people every day range where I work, and get into some really good conversations with a lot of them, and just things that go on in life, things we've all gone through together, and just how life has been over the last 10 to 20 years and beyond for that matter. But one of the reasons why I'm starting to put this channel together is because I've kind of been asked to by the people that I've been talking to. We get to share a lot of information with one another, and they tell me all the time, you really need to go and put a channel together and let everyone know where you're at and what the things that you're doing. Now, I will admit, I'm a very, very unconventional guy when it comes to living life. One of the things probably right off the bat, and I do my best to not have anything to do with this, but if the government has anything at all to do with it, I don't want anything to do with it. And I'll give you a for instance. I don't have any health care. I don't because the government is involved in that. I haven't had it for the better part of 13 years. And how that happened, I had insurance. I went and got my physical, got my blood work done by, it doesn't really matter what company, but I got my blood work done, and they sent me a bill for $648 for my panel, and I had insurance, and I went on ahead and paid it. But the next year, I started putting two and two together a little bit, and I kind of said to myself, I'm not doing this anymore. I am not dealing with an insurance company any longer. I'm done with healthcare. So what I did was at the time I had owned a business, and when you own a business, it's difficult to get into a group plan if you don't have a lot of employees. And I didn't. So I had to have an individual policy, and they wanted something in the nature of $610 a month at the time for that. And so I said, I'm not doing that anymore. So I took the $610 and I started putting it in a savings account. And every time I'd go get my teeth cleaned, I'd pay cash for it. Still do that 2 or 3 times a year. Every time I would go get a physical, I would pay cash for that. And while I was at the doctor, I would have them write me a script so I could go somewhere and get my panel done and just pay that company directly in cash. And what ticked me off so much about the whole thing was that $648 bill that I got, the same panel the following year, out of pocket with no insurance, was $100. And I said, well, I think I'm onto something here. Now, most of y'all would probably say right off the bat, well, hey, what if you get really sick and end up with a $300,000 bill in the hospital? All of that's very true. But we'll get into that and how I handle that and what goes along with that. But I just wanted to welcome everybody to the channel, and if you have any comments about what I've already talked about a little bit, let me know right down below, and we'll get into a conversation about this. But getting back to me not having any health care, I just pay for everything along the way. I still get my eyes checked once a year. I just pay cash for everything, and they don't really like to see me coming because, if Mr. Doctor says, Scott, you need to get X test. Okay, well, how much is it? That's what I ask them. How much is it? Well, they don't have a menu up there on the board, so they don't know because the prices are different for everybody. If you have insurance, it's this price. If you are on Medicare, it's this price. If you are retired, it's this price. If you are under 15 years old, it's another price. And the list goes on and on and on. So they don't really have a basic price for everything that they do, that everybody pays the same thing. That never happens in the medical industry. Nobody pays the same thing. They're out to get everything that they can get. Now, they are a for-profit company. Most medical facilities are for-profit. And because of that, it's going to be high. It's going to be real high. And ain't going to be nothing you can do about it. So I just pay cash everywhere I go. Now, if something big happens and it costs me $300,000, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. We ain't got there yet. Maybe one day, and I'm sure it's coming. I'm sure it's coming. But we'll get more into that topic and that conversation. And but that's just one little thing that's happened to me in my life and how I've done things a little bit different over the last decade and a half, I guess. And but we're gonna get into it. But got a lot more information coming your way, and going to tell you how I've been living my life financially for the last 10, 15 years, and we're going to go from there. But for right now, just what I've talked about a little bit. You got any comments about that? Drop them below and let me know. And I'll be back real soon with another one. Thanks.